I've been telling you how I'm going to connect this design to a doubling circuit. First, we need to understand how to do whole number fractals. Now, we can explain that very quickly. It's real easy. Say we have a whole number, 547,021. How do we get a whole number fractal? We simply add each digit in the number. 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 19. Well, we want this to be one number, so we're going to add these two digits. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Still have two digits, want 1. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1 is our whole number fractal of 547,021. It makes relationships between large numbers easy to see. So, when I go to a doubling circuit and I reduce everything to whole number fractal, I find that as I double things, they take on a certain pattern. This represents a doubling circuit. 3 and 6 have a phasing action back and forth. I'll show you how this works. 1 doubled is what? 2. 2 doubled is 4. 4 doubled is 8. 8 doubled is 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. 16 plus 16, double it, you get 32. 3 plus 2 is 5. 32 doubled, you get 64. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. We double 64, we get 128, which adds to 11. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. Take 128, 256. Reduces down to 4. 256 doubled is 512. 5 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8. And this continues on into infinity, and we see that it's always the same direction. The direction never changes. We have what we could call expansion coming out and contraction coming in. Expansion coming out, contraction coming in. So this works backwards with halving. You get the same thing. What happens, I've talked about 3 being special, 3, 6, 9, 12 really. If you double 3, what do you get? You get 6. Double 6, what do you get? 12. 1 plus 2, 3. And these two continue bouncing back and forth like that. In vortex mathematics, they say this happens by way of the 9. I show it a little differently in my math, but you're going to see where we're both Marco Roden, Randy Powell. I'd recommend watching their videos, but we're working towards the same thing here. So if you can understand that this is doubling, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, you know, uh, but we get this pattern in whole number fractals that shows up in what is it? 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Following this round. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. And this goes on into infinity. If you write that out on a flat chart, what do we get? 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. And we start seeing these other relationships show up, where we can say we have on each one of these it rotates. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 4, 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4. You see it rotates. 8, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 7, 5, 1, 2, 4, 8. And you have this rotation that's going on. Now if we're jumping out this direction, we got our 1, 2, 4s, 8, 7, 5s come out here. Let me back up on that one for a minute. Okay, they're jigsawing up. Say 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 this direction. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. They kind of jigsaw up, but when we start looking at number activations, we start seeing that we have things like 147 is going to be a number that shows up 147. Notice we have our 2, 8, 5 in between. But 147 is this direction, only have one step in between them. These are stepping out, doubling out off of your X and Y axis. And the rest of it is kind of filling in. That's just my own assumption about something right there. Let me continue on. So we've got our doubling circuit 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. That's what we have here 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 off into infinity, and it rotates as we come out either our X or Y axis, shooting off in both directions. So, how does that relate to the wheel we've been working on? To this. How does this, that, relate to this? Well, I reduced each one of these to whole number fractals, coming out each one of these areas, each one of these 12 areas. I reduced them down to their whole number fractals. And that gave me this. Now what do I have? Let's see. Okay, this is the page I was looking for. Here's our doubling circuit all laid out, nice and flat. And I look, I have my 147s. Okay. Now I look at this same doubling circuit. I've got my 147, 147, 147, 147. Okay. And it's going out. Have 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8. This repeating 3-digit sequence all the way into infinity. Like I say, I took it up to 560 some trillion myself. Computers, I'm sure, could do a whole lot more with that. Now, 258s have 258s coming back in. 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8 coming back in, compressing. So then I come around to my 369. These are phasing action that we talked about between 369 and 12. I hit 471, 471, 471. You know, whichever axis you jump on, 471, 471, 471, and into infinity. Coming out. Then we have 582. 582, 582, depending on which axis you jump on. 582, 582, 582. All of these numbers being represented here are represented here on this wheel, either moving towards center or moving away from center. So whenever I think about the Rodin coil, I think that this becomes very important to us, especially knowing that these are all of our prime numbers. They all develop here in column 1. It seems very important to me. Now, when each one of these is reduced down to a whole number fractal, each 3-digit sequence, here's where I took it up, where I was talking about, ran it up to 562 trillion. And I have, oh, I wish I had it handy, but my old sheet that has the green and red numbers coming down it, and here it is. When I reduce each one of these down to its whole number fractal, each 3-digit sequence, you see a pattern evolve. 9 only happens here in the center. 414. Okay. Everywhere else, we get a 3-6 alternating pattern, a grid, if you will. Threes are green, sixes are blue. And you see how we have this grid, this checkerboard, show up as our phasing. I was talking about the phasing action between 3, 6, 9, and 12. Do you remember the geometries that we talked about back in my first video about prime numbers? This is where these geometries start to get important when we're trying to follow the flow of energy. Uh, I recommend, like I say, you watch videos by Marco Rodin, Randy Powell, and Vortex Mathematics. They connect to a doubling circuit in much the same way, and they probably explain it better than I do. But by reducing the Tesla wheel, the Tesla multiplication wheel for prime and prime composites, and fixing the directions behind how to use it, actually made it work. And after looking at it, I see how it also connects to a doubling circuit, and that makes this important. Please watch further videos. Please subscribe, ask questions, comment in the comment section below, and share this video. And I say again, please do the math yourself. Math doesn't lie. Might not have the best videos, but the information is good. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.